You get involved with your friends. You don't observe them.
It's an interesting viewpoint.
Oh, Edward, sorry to interrupt, Peter. The first meeting of the school magazine committee is at lunchtime tomorrow, and I'd like you to be there.
Why me?
Because I would like to offer you the job as editor for this year.
But, Mr. Fisher...
Yes, Peter?
well, I was a sub-editor last year. I just...
And you did an excellent job. I hope you'll be staying on in that role. Yeah, so, you'll be there?
Oh, of course.
Good.
I don't believe this.
Don't be angry with me. I never knew you wanted to be editor.
And you know why you didn't know?
You never told me.
No, you never asked me. You know, there's so much about me that you don't know. You're just not interested.
That's not true.
Isn't it?
No.
All right, then what's my brother's name?
What?
Simple question. You know I've got a brother.
Yeah?
Then what's his name?
Peter, this is stupid.
What's his name?
You've never talked about
You never asked me. You don't observe life. You're too self-absorbed in your own. You're so self-centered.
That's not true.
Isn't it? Prove it to me.
Howdy, cowboys. That's a relief. Is Gypsy here?
Upstairs.
Can I go say it?
She said she had a headache. I'll go get her.
Nah, if she's got a headache...
I'll tell her you're here and I'll see how she feels.
Bit of a disaster, this Arvo. Yes, it probably ranks as one of the shortest parties in history. I'd get onto the Guinness Book of Records if I were you.
Gypsy!
Ed, I heard you got the editor's job on the school paper.
Then you heard right.
Well, wasn't Peta pretty keen on that job?
Yeah, she was.
And?
And what?
Well, she worked hard all last year, man. She must be spewing.
Yeah, she's disappointed, but she'll understand.
What, that you just blew in and took the job? Sure she will. So, you want to go to the diner?
Sure.
People have been telling me how much you wanted the editor's job. I didn't realise.
Edward, what did you think the fight we had last night was about?
Yeah, I know, I just didn't think it was that serious. So I've been having a bit of a think about it.
And?
Weighing up the pros and cons,
Yeah?
and I've decided in all conscience the best thing I can do is take the job.
What?
Right, hear me out. If I'd said no, people would have thought that I'd only done so because you're my girlfriend, and that's pathetic, and you wouldn't want the job under those circumstances, would you? No, of course not. Besides which, I am the best person for the job, so I have a moral obligation to take it. What do you say?
Edward, you are so full of it, it's not even funny. Move. Oh, well, guess she had stuff to do. She shouldn't be long.
Okay.
Hey, how unfair is it that Edward got that editor's job? I've worked really hard to make that magazine good.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, he doesn't even like half the stuff that was in last year's magazine.
Yeah, I know, and I've got a school captain column, and you put my stuff alongside his, and it makes me look like a mental midget.
Hi.
Hey, where have you been?
Nowhere.
Well, what took you so long? You left school before we did.
Yeah, just walked home along the beach. It's slower. You want a drink?
Sure.
Good morning. You're not still mad at me by any chance?
Not now, Edward. I'm not in the mood.
Peter, have you seen Gypsy?
No, I haven't seen Gypsy, and I don't want to.
What did I say?
I'd just like to remind you of the meeting at lunchtime tomorrow for the editorial committee.
I'm looking forward to it, sir.
Good.
Starting to sound like a brown nose, mate.
Oh, word, please, both of you.
Yes?
I'd just like to say how disappointed I am that you chose to behave in such a childish manner.
Sir?
Well, you both knew about the lunchtime meeting, and you deliberately decided not to attend.
Well, it's freedom of speech, then.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Will. As captain of this school, I expect a little more maturity from you.
Yes, sir.
I'll go on, get to class. Not you, Peter.
Sir, I had nothing to do with no one else coming. I just decided I wasn't going to go myself.
Yes, all right. Now, I'd like you to read these and tell me, in all honesty, who you would choose as editor. An essay of Edward's and an article you wrote for the magazine last year.
Sir?
You know, I know comparisons can be odious, but in this case, it's justified.
Does Edward know about this, sir?
No? Well, I didn't think it was necessary. I look forward to hearing your honest, unbiased assessment. Peter, did you read Edward's essay?
Yes, I did.
So, in all honesty.
Edward's essay and my article?
Yes.
Well, his essay's phenomenal. It was brilliant.
I agree.
Didn't understand a lot of it.
Yeah, well, I suppose some of it is rather esoteric.
Which is why I think that I'm the best person for the editor's job.
Oh?
This is our school magazine we're talking about. Not some edition of Brainiacs Monthly. Most of the kids in this school haven't even heard of Ezra Pound, and none of them speak ancient Greek. It's not what our school magazine is about.
I see, I see. So you'd rather pander to the lowest common denominator, would you?
No. But I do want to put out a magazine that kids want to read. And I hate to say this, but I think Edward would use it as a platform to show off on.
Hi.
What? No Wordsworth? No Keats? No T.S. Eliot?
No, just hi.
Well, hi then.
How come you weren't at the meeting?
Do you know what Fisher did? He gave me one of my old articles, one of your essays to read,
Why did he do that?
so that I could see you were the best person for the job.
Oh,
Is that all you could say?
well, what do you expect me to say? Which essay was it?
What does it matter which essay it was?
Well, was it good?
Do you know what? I'm planning to stay on as sub-editor.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I'm really glad.
I'm staying on to keep you honest.
Hey, I'm editor, not treasurer.
Do you have any idea how arrogant you are?
Hey, Peter, I'm only kidding. Look, we will make a great team.
Do you really think so?
Yes. They will be queuing up to get this magazine. Oh, I've got some great ideas. Why don't we get down to the diner and I'll run a few past you?
No, not today, Edward.
Okay, when?
Next time there's an editorial meeting.
Why wait till then? I see you every day.
Look, I really don't think that we should go out anymore.
What? You don't mean that.
Edward, we're too different. I'm sorry.
Peter, are you...
Hello.
Hi.
Sorted out the school magazine yet?
In a way, Peter's agreed to stay on as sub-editor.
Oh, well, I'm pleased.
But she still believes she should be editor.
That's understandable.
No, it isn't. It just goes to show she completely lacks objectivity. I mean, either that or she's too proud to admit that I'm the best person for this job.
In your opinion, Peter's entitled to her own.
Oh, come on, Mother. Have you read this so-called magazine? It's banal.
Oh, and I suppose you think it's just crying out for some articles on Shakespeare's imagery or postmodernism.
Well, anything's better than the rubbish that's in there at the moment.
Well, maybe Peter would have done something about that if she'd gotten the job as editor.
Whose side are you on, Mother?
I am trying to be objective. And it might not hurt you to consider the possibility that others just might have a contribution to make.
What, are you saying I'm arrogant?
Well, let's just say that you lack humility.
Well, I'm sorry, Mother. If you wanted a humble child, you should have chosen a different father. But no, you didn't want a humble child, did you? You wanted a brilliant one. And you got it.
Okay, I think I've got everything. I'll come and help you in a sec. Thanks.
Ooh, you look busy.
Yeah, I'm getting all the articles organised for the first edition of Vox Pop.
Yeah, do you think that's a very appropriate name, Vox Pop? How about we call it The Voice?
Boring. Got some really good articles here, you know. There's this one about shoplifting. I reckon we'll stir old Flathead up a bit, but I think it's worth running.
Yeah, we won't be needing it. I finished the whole magazine, everything's so
Hey, hang on. What do you mean you finished the whole magazine?
Well, it's completed. There's no room for anything else.
But I've done an article. There's the school captain's column, and what about all these film reviews?
Okay, maybe we can fit in the school captain's column if it's not too long, but... Okay, look at this review. There's no style, no insight, just a gushing rave about a very, very predictable film.
Darryl liked it, and he said so.
Peter, that piece has no journalistic merit whatsoever.
Ah, and I suppose all of your stuff does.
Oh, I think so. My feature article is a retrospective of the work of J.R. Tolkien, with special cross-reference to the Silmarillion.
The what?
That's followed by an in-depth study of the prospects of the Balkans after the war.
Who do you think's going to be reading this magazine, Edward? University professors?
Well, there have to be some intelligent minds at this school.
Yeah, right. Flathead. That's who you're really trying to impress, isn't it?
I am not trying to impress anyone. I am just trying to create the best possible student magazine. I'm the editor, and it's up to me what goes into this.
Well, you know how I took back my resignation? I'm taking back the take back.
You mean you're rescinding it?
Whatever. You want to do it all yourself? Fine. You got it.
Peter, this isn't very professional. It's very long, but, we can cut this, and this can definitely go.
I spent a lot of time writing that.
But there's nothing that can't be improved with a little editing.
Except for your stuff, of course.
Oi, Bullfed, that is the very last time I wash your duds.
What?
You trying to set me old washing machine a challenge or something, all that mud?
Oh, yeah, I was playing footy.
Obviously not very well.
How's that? There's nothing left.
Well, it's a brief statement. That's all you need.
It's brief, all right? There's about 5 lines. Why can't you just leave what I wrote?
Will, you have to understand, in literature, nothing is ever right the first time. Even Flaubert wrote 23 drafts of Madame Bovary.
Yeah, but I'm not writing literature. I'm writing a school column. So either you print what I got or forget about it.
Fine.
What?
Well, there really isn't any space for it anyway.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Hayley. What's happening?
Not a lot. Mr. Fisher.
Oh, Haley, good morning. You look busy, Edward.
Yeah, I'm just making some final touches to the magazine before I send it off to the printers.
Oh, well, where's the rest of the team? Why aren't they helping you?
They all seem to have lost interest.
Typical. Oh, well, I'll give you a hand then. You'll never get it out otherwise. Well, this looks interesting, a study of the Balkans. Is this your work?
Yeah.
Well, I must say, it's very refreshing to have a student magazine with something in it other than football or gossip.
You're really good at that, Hayley. You got the look of the kid in that photo almost exactly.
Yeah, that's the idea. Mr. Fisher wrote the book for Byron originally, so I'm trying to make the little boy look like Byron would have in a couple of years.
That's such a nice idea.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hey, come on, we better be getting back to school. We're going to be late.
Hey, what are you going to do when you see Edward?
I can't decide between telling him what I think of him or just ignoring him altogether.
Like me with Mitch.
Yeah, but I feel a bit sorry for Mitch. I mean, he's not a complete jerk like Edward. Look at the way he defended you against Brian Rogers.
Yeah,
Hayley, are you ever going to give in and just forgive him?
probably. Eventually. Don't want to make it too easy for him, do I?
The bell went ages ago, girls. You should be in class.
Sorry, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, Peter, just a minute. I was very surprised to find that Edward had been left to complete all the work on the student magazine.
Well, that's not our fault. Edward wanted to do it all himself.
Oh, really? Well, I find that rather hard to believe. Now, I think the editorial team should pull up its collective socks and put the magazine above any petty grievances. And if you don't convey this message to the others, then I will.
All right, Mr. Fisher. I will. Don't worry. Okay, now we've ended up with a little bit of a space in the back page. Does anyone know a joke or something we could fill it with?
Yeah, I know a few.
They have to be clean.
That makes it hard.
It would for you.
Oh, no, I could do a cartoon.
Yeah?
How's it all going?
Yeah, okay.
I thought Edward was supposed to be in charge of all of this.
Was being the operative word. Well, more to the point, where are Will and Mitch? They're supposed to be helping us.
I'd say they're probably more help by not being here.
This is the second night in a row he slipped away. Wonder what he's up to.
I don't want to know.
It's about time you got here. Did you forget we're supposed to be working on the magazine tonight?
I, kind of lost interest as soon as Edward started ripping into my column.
Well, you'll be happy to know it's in there now.
What, the whole 5 words that he left of it?
No, all of it. There've been some big changes, man. Someone's in for a surprise.
Mr. Fisher, I would never have finished printing these last night if you hadn't helped me.
Yes, next time I see that editorial committee, I'm going to tell them exactly what I think of them. What's this?
Oh, it's our version of the student magazine, sir. One that's really for students, not just a forum for Edward to show off his ego.
We've got the magazine here.
Well, you can hand it out if you like. But I really don't think anyone's going to be very interested. Oh, no, you wouldn't like it. It's too mundane for you.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you've put together another magazine?
Yep. Edward wouldn't let us contribute, so we made one of our own.
But that's ridiculous. The school doesn't need 2 magazines.
Well, why don't we distribute both of them and let the students decide which one they prefer? Your game, Edward, aren't you?
Why are we stopping off here if you're so worried about being late for school?
What about this? Have you seen this?
Interesting.
Interesting. It's an outright attack on the teaching staff.
Oh, Donald, don't exaggerate.
I'm not. It accuses me of censorship by choosing an editor for the school magazine who doesn't represent the majority.
Well, they do have a point.
Yes, and what about that other article, the one that informs students of their rights if they're caught shoplifting? I mean, We can't allow them to print that, surely.
Oh, so you are advocating censorship?
Editorial control is hardly censorship.
Well, if we're not going to allow them to print certain types of articles, what else can we call it?
We cannot let them have open slather to write what they want. I mean, there has to be some control.
Well, as little as possible, I would have thought. It is supposed to be their magazine, after all. Look, this article doesn't seem to be actually advocating shoplifting. It's advice on what to do if they're falsely accused. Does occasionally happen to young people, you know.
Judith, do you not agree that the magazine Edward produced is exactly what we want?
No, I think it's exactly what you want, Donald. Quite honestly, I can't see the average student relating to the magazine that Edward has produced at all.
Oh, so you have seen it then?
Yes, I have. And it's a very high-quality piece of work. Very literate and highly intelligent.
Well, yes, I agree.
Well, it's also Edward showing off. I mean, look at this. While the 12th and 13th centuries are known for their soaring cathedrals, the 20th will be known for its shopping malls.
Valid and perceptive.
Well, it's also hugely didactic. The average student won't get past the first few lines. It simply won't interest them.
Isn't that the whole point of a school magazine, to stretch them?
Well, within reasonable limits, yes. But the majority are going to find that far too elitist. Look, I think what's been agreed is the best idea. We let the students decide which magazine they want.
Yes. Well, I have no illusions which one that'll be. Your essay for next week is Stalin's reorganization of the Soviet Union with his successive 5-year plans. I would like you to give details of each of those plans. Oh, please don't sound so interested. You'll only be studying some of the most world-changing events of our time. Yes, all right, go. Yours?
They all took Peter's magazine.
I'm not really surprised, Edward. I mean, it's a sad fact of life these days that those who aim for the lowest common denominator generally have the most success. Who cares about the Balkans when you can get away with shoplifting?
I'm afraid these seem to have been discarded.
Yes, we noticed.
Well, I'd say we have no choice but to accept the Rebel offering as the official student magazine.
So what was up with Friday?
Dunno, he seemed to write at breakfast this morning.
I reckon it's because he didn't like us doing the new magazine.
Yeah, well, he'd be the only one.
Yeah, I reckon it was unreal. On your Peter.
Well, it wasn't just me, remember? A lot of people contributed. That was the point.
Yeah, I liked your cartoon, though. You gonna make that a regular thing?
Maybe.
How you going?
Not that it's anyone's business, but yeah, I've got to go home and pick up my drawings from Mr. Fisher.
Do you want me to walk with you?
No thanks. Peter's coming with me.
Yeah, sure.
You may as well give up, mate.
Sorry, Edward, but you've got to admit, you did deserve it.
Edward, you mustn't let what's happened with the magazine get you down. I know it's depressing when other people don't share our love of literature. And even if it puts us outside the mainstream, we just have to learn to be a little more subtle and occasionally to compromise.
I didn't think you'd advocate compromising my standards.
I'm not, Edward. I'm not for a second. But we do have to learn to live with others. That's the sort of compromise I'm referring to. The other students had a right to some say in their magazine.
I suppose I could have been a little more diplomatic in the way I handled things.
Yes. Well, it's a lesson we all have to learn sometime.
It's not easy, you know, being different.
Oh, hi.
I just wanted to let you know I won't be continuing with The Voice. There's no point in having 2 student magazines.
Not really.
I thought you understood me. See you around.
Afternoon, Peter.
Is that right?
I hope you're not going to let this business with the student magazine come between you and Edward on a personal level.
I think it already has.
Well, that's a shame. I'm sure it isn't what Edward wants. Look, you've had a victory as far as the magazine is concerned. So maybe you could be a little magnanimous.
Why didn't you want to go out for dinner with everyone else?
Just didn't feel like it.
You're still upset about Edward, aren't you?
Maybe I was too cruel to him.
Peter, he had it coming, remember?
Yeah, I know, but I still really like him. I mean, sure, he thinks he knows everything, which he just about does, but that's no reason to break up over.
Then sort something out with him.
He doesn't even want to talk to me.
Of course he does. Well, more than Mitch wants to talk to me anyway.
We've really stuffed things up, haven't we?
Hello. All right if I come in?
Sure.
Don't worry, I won't stay long. I just came to give you these. Just some files and a disc with formatting for Vox Pop.
Thanks.
Excuse me, guys, but I've got to go.
I don't leave because of me.
No, really. They're expecting me at home.
Some of them are potential stories, but you might want to use them. And come to think of it, you did a pretty good job on your own magazine. You probably won't need that disc either.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff we can use.
Yeah, anyway, that's all I came around for.
Edward, well, there's no reason that you can't come and work with us on Vox Pop.
I don't think so. But in what capacity?
Well, we could use a literary critic.
Come on, don't patronise me.
I'm not. You could review all the set novels. It would help out heaps of people.
Really?
Of course.
And, what about us?
Look, I never meant for any of this to come between us. I still really want to keep seeing you.
Okay, I'll be your literary critic, but, no one changes a word of my reviews, okay?